Hi, I'm David Black. I'm a criminal defense lawyer in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to talk to you today about your rights, not just any rights, but your Miranda rights. And I'm going to try to shed some light on something that I didn't understand well before I was a lawyer, and I hear a lot from clients and people that call me, some misunderstandings. So, what are our Miranda rights? Well, Miranda is a case that's been around for quite a while, and effectively all 50 states are required under the United States Constitution to provide certain rights to individuals prior to obtaining basically confessions, okay? So I'll have somebody come into my office and say, I know I screwed up. I got a DUI. I made all these mistakes, but the officer didn't read me my rights. And unfortunately, I usually say they don't have to. Okay, so Miranda applies to police, custodial, interrogation, and that's what we're taught in law school. So I'm going to explain what those are. So first of all, who needs to read you your rights? A government actor, law enforcement, the people that pulled you over. When do they need to read you your rights? When you're in custody, when you've been arrested. And what does the conversation need to be like? Well, they have to be asking you questions of the type to elicit what's called inculpatory information. So really anything like, why'd you do it? Why were you there? Were you drinking before this? Did you have a gun on you? Whatever the crime is, it's to prevent law enforcement officers from overcoming basically the voluntary free will of a suspect who's in custody. But let's say they screw that up and they forget to read you your rights. What does that mean? It is not, unfortunately, a get out of jail free card. It is a reason to suppress the statements made in violation of Miranda. So there's something called the exclusionary rule. And what that means is that if an officer not in good faith makes a mistake and fails to properly and lawfully collect evidence, violating your constitutional rights, the evidence that is obtained in violation of those rights gets suppressed and can't be used against you. So let's talk about a case where that's very important. Let's talk about a murder case where there's very little physical evidence that a murder was committed. Suspect is in custody. Police are grilling him, and they finally get a confession from, let's say, a vulnerable 17-year-old kid. Lo and behold, they fail to read him his rights. That confession very well might be suppressed. And that case, in that circumstance, might go nowhere. That might be the end of it, okay? Very big deal. Let's talk about a much more common scenario. You've been pulled over for DUI. You're exhibiting all the signs and symptoms of alcohol impairment. You're on police body cam slurring your words. Blood draw is conducted, which you consent to. Your BAC comes back. It's in excess of the legal limit. And at some point after arrest, you tell the officer in response to interrogation that you had 8 drinks at the bar earlier that night. Now, under certain circumstances, that admission of 8 drinks will get suppressed from trial. It probably won't have an effect on the case. There's substantial evidence to go forward on that. So the hope is that with this information, you are a little bit better informed. I would encourage you to do some research on this. Encourage you to even read the Miranda case and look it up online and see what you think. And encourage you to call our firm if you have any questions. Thanks so much.